Hello guys, and welcome back once again to the Asian channel. And today we are going to talk about we have the first confirmation for the development of the Chinese hypersonic air-to-air missile. Because a report of the developmental hypersonic air-to-air missile was published on the Chinese Equipment Environment Engineering Journal. According to the head scientist of the program, they've already run the final test of the hypersonic missile on the Extreme Mars Mission Tunnel. According to them, the hypersonic air-to-air missile has undergone extreme heat resistance test to meet the strict requirements that was set by the People's Liberation Army Air Force. In fact, I even reported the development of this missile just a year ago, just based only on rumblings from the open-source intelligence community. But now we have the official confirmation of the development. The missile is expected to have a speed beyond Mach 5 or 6,100 kilometers per hour. It is expected the missile would have a speed much higher than Mach 5. Another requirement is also that the missile should have a minimum range of 400 to 500 kilometers, and some are saying it might even reach as far as 1,000 kilometers. While the minimum range is understandable, the missile should have a range above 400 kilometers because it doesn't make sense to develop a new missile with just a 400-kilometer range, because basically, it would just be similar to maximum range of their PL-17 and PL-21 air-to-air missile they have in service. The extreme heat test is also expected a big hurdle they need to overcome before the missile could enter mass production in the future as first hypersonic air-to-air missile in service. They need to figure out the biggest problem of hypersonic missile, which is extreme heat. The missile would travel so fast that it compresses air molecules to the point it turns into plasma. The heat could reach up to 3,700 Celsius and beyond, so it needs material that can withstand that heat. Hypersonic missiles' normal workaround for this is by flying at very high altitude, around 70,000 to 100,000 feet, because air is colder up there compared to air at lower atmosphere, which is hotter. But the biggest problem would be plasma sheath around the missile due to extreme heat. Plasma sheath blocks radio frequency to send signal to missile for accuracy. It's also hard to put a regular camera or infrared seeker used on non-hypersonic missile because they would melt on extreme heat. Now, unlike hypersonic ballistic missile that travels Mach 20 to 25 while carrying nuclear missile doesn't need extreme accuracy since they're carrying nuclear weapon. Hitting the target 10 meters or 100 meters away doesn't matter if it's carrying a nuclear weapon with a 2-kilometer blast radius. But that's not the case for hypersonic air-to-air missile because you're trying to destroy a very small and agile fighter jet, or stealth fighter and bomber with very small radar cross-section. Extreme accuracy is a must. Now, another problem they need to overcome is to have the ability to track and engage stealth fighters with very low radar signature at close distance, and almost invisible at very long distances like the American stealth fighter like the F-22, the F-35, and the new B-21 stealth bomber. Because range is not everything. Your range couldn't matter if you can't track and engage them. These are the most important American air assets that pose significant threats to the Chinese Air Force. Now, they didn't mention the delivery aircraft of the Chinese hypersonic air-to-air missile, but obviously the J-20 is the most ideal, especially if you can put them on its internal weapon bay, so that it would have an edge over its American stealth rival. Now, we don't know much of its size yet, so depending on its size, we will know whether the J-20 could carry them internally or externally. The other best fighter to carry them is the J-16 multi-role 4th-generation fighter. It's not stealth, but it's very capable as it has a very large payload capacity, much larger than the J-20. For long-range operation, the H-6K long-range bomber could also carry them. The H-6K has been tasked to carry their previous hypersonic anti-ship and air-to-ground hypersonic missile that can carry conventional or nuclear bomb. If this is indeed real and it would enter service, it would not be an understatement to say this is a game-changing weapon on air-to-air combat. This would put all of the enemy's fighter jet at risk before they even have a chance to fire at you. This could also put air assets that support fighter jets behind the front line that are normally safe at long distance due to the enemy's fighter jet and missile range limitation. Assets like early warning aircraft, aerial refueling aircraft, reconnaissance, and electronic aircraft.